I want to talk about someone else who's in town, Roger Waters,
Yeah.
Pink Floyd. You're obviously Jewish. He's been coming out with a lot of...
Israeli.
And Israeli. And he's been coming with a lot of very anti-Israel and what people perceive to be anti-Semitic comments.
I'm not sure that's the same thing.
Right, so what's your position about Roger Waters?
Well, first of all, he's a very talented guy. He's written some of the most wonderful music along with Floyd, many, many decades, and it's obviously held up, and he's got lots of fans. There is something to be said for keeping your political and other beliefs off the stage. His choice is to use the stage as a platform to further his point of view.
So let me ask you guys something. Let's go back to the year the dark side of the moon fell onto our laps and who we were at that time. I was still a teenager, folks, and I was poring over those lyrics, and you know what? In my younger years, I agreed with most of those lyrics, but what happened? Well, I, like every single one of you, lived a life, right? I'm in my 60s now, folks. I got married. I had children. I went from a performing musician to becoming a full-time dad. There were no nannies raising my children. I wasn't rubbing noses with Robert Redford or Harrison Ford or any of that ilk. I was raising a family. And you know what? To raise a family, you need a pocketbook, don't you? And so my politics changed, all right? I still consider myself a moderate. I'm somewhere in the middle. I have a couple of leanings to the left, and I have a couple of leanings to the right. And one of my leanings to the right is guarding my pocketbook. You see, in those decades, I saw programs that were pushed by the left that did nothing over the years but cost more and more and more money from taxes that I was paying. And yet, here's a little bit of my story for you folks. Some of you already know this. I'm a recovering alcoholic. I had to stop drinking. I had to, from that point, I had lost my job. My first marriage suffered because of my own alcoholism. And guess what? That was my responsibility. But if it wasn't for the left-leaning programs that not only gave me a stipend to get well, to become productive, even helping me go to school and to get my valid medical license in the state of California. Now, the way that program was run is you were in as long as you were producing. The second you stopped producing and just kept taking, you were out of it. Those kind of programs work. So I'm not 100% against some of his politics. It's the overall crap that we hear from this man that I'm against. And he's doing it in my country. And frankly, he's doing it in your country. The only country lucky enough not to have him around to mess up their stuff all the time because he's busy elsewhere is England.